Emily in Paris, or should I say Emily in Paris, follows Emily Cooper, a young marketing exec from Chicago. Just as Emily's boss Madeline is about to take a job at the Paris-based marketing firm Savoir, she discovers that she's pregnant and makes the decision to stay in Chicago to raise her baby. And so Emily takes the job and relocates to France. She creates the @EmilyInParis Instagram account to chronicle her new life, but things aren't quite as magical as she first anticipated. Her bright and upbeat demeanor immediately puts her at odds with her new boss Sylvie. Sylvie seems to be stuck in her old ways and grows resentful of Emily's creative new ideas and wholesome charm, winning over both old and new clients for Savoir. Making things even more tense in Emily's relationship with Sylvie is that one of Savoir's main clients, Antoine, the owner of a perfume company, has been having a years-long affair with Sylvie, but also seems to be taking a liking to Emily. And though it's eventually revealed that Antoine's feelings for Emily are platonic and not romantic, Emily does help Sylvie recognize that she deserves more than being a mistress. Other colleagues at Savoir include the dramatic Julien and the quirky Luke, who at first follow Sylvie's lead in icing out Emily, but are quickly won over by her persistent positivity. Meanwhile, Emily's Instagram account is gaining followers fast, leading to Emily becoming an influencer in her own right, allowing her to use her newfound clout to bring in new clients for Savoir. While things are going great for her professionally, Emily's personal life is a bit more complicated. Dealing with cultural differences and a language barrier leads to Emily feeling like an outcast. Luckily, she befriends Mindy, the daughter of a wealthy Chinese family who now works as a nanny in Paris. Mindy had big dreams of being a professional singer, but after an embarrassing performance on China's biggest singing competition show, she abandoned her dreams and moved to Paris to live a simpler life. Mindy helps introduce Emily to all of the fun that Paris has to offer. In moving to Paris, Emily left behind her boyfriend Doug in Chicago with the intention of having a long-distance relationship, but the distance becomes too much for Doug and the two break up, leaving Emily single in the most romantic city on earth. She develops feelings for her neighbor Gabriel, who lives in the apartment below hers. But that attraction is complicated when Emily discovers that Gabriel has a girlfriend, Camille, who strikes up a genuine friendship with Emily. As Emily and Gabriel grow closer, even sharing a kiss, Emily begins to feel guilty about betraying Camille and tries to pull away from Gabriel. Meanwhile, for Gabriel and Camille, their relationship begins to strain on its own. Gabriel is a chef with dreams of buying the restaurant he currently works at, and Camille asks her family to loan Gabriel the money required for the purchase. But Gabriel refuses the money, not wanting to be indebted to Camille's family. Everything comes to a head in the season finale. Emily secures fashion icon Pierre Cadault as a client for Savoir, but when he's the target of embarrassing publicity stunts at the hands of young streetwear designers Grayspace, Pierre loses confidence in himself and pulls out of Paris Fashion Week. The debacle causes Sylvie to fire Emily. After Emily delivers a pep talk to Pierre, the designer is inspired for a new collection and the Savoir team hijacks Grayspace's venue to premiere his new looks. The event is a huge success, and Sylvie decides to keep Emily on as an employee at Savoir. Things are much more complicated for Emily in her personal life. Her best friend Mindy takes a part-time job singing at a drag club and is subsequently fired by her conservative employers for whom she nannies. So now Mindy is forced to move in with Emily. Emily also begins a burgeoning relationship with Pierre Cadault's nephew Mathieu, who after the huge success of Fashion Week offers to whisk Emily away to a romantic vacation in Saint-Tropez. Gabriel meanwhile decides to buy a cheaper restaurant in Normandy, leading to his imminent departure from Paris. This fractures his relationship with Camille, and knowing this could be the last time she would see Gabriel, Emily decides to give in to her feelings and sleep with him. But on the day of Gabriel's departure, he gets an offer from Antoine to invest in his Paris restaurant, meaning Gabriel would be staying around after all. And so as season 1 comes to a close, Emily is caught between her loyalty to her friend Camille, her burgeoning relationship with Mathieu, and her true feelings for Gabriel. Do you want an incredible freshly cooked meal but don't have time to travel all the way to Paris to visit Gabriel's new restaurant? Then try out this video's sponsor, HelloFresh. I'll be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing in the kitchen, but HelloFresh makes it so simple. I can use their website or app to schedule food deliveries for times that fit my schedule. I can tell them my dietary restrictions, whether it be vegetarian, pescatarian, or just fit and wholesome. Once you've chosen your plan, HelloFresh sends you fresh quality produce straight from the farm to your door, in perfectly sized, pre-packaged, and proportioned quantities. So you don't have to worry about going to the grocery store and buying way more ingredients than you'll ever actually need. These packages cut down on meal prep time, food waste, and even greenhouse gas emissions. It's the perfect way to save time and money and the environment. I love being able to follow along with easy-to-read recipes to have dinner ready for my wife when she gets home from work. And trust me, if I can turn a bunch of ingredients into a delicious meal, anyone can. I truly can't recommend these meals enough, so go to HelloFresh.com and use code RECAP18 for 18 free meals. Plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com, promo code RECAP18 for 18 free meals. Thanks again to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the recap. In season 2 of Emily in Paris, Mathieu discovers that Emily and Gabriel slept together. In response, Mathieu breaks up with Emily and tells her to go on the Saint-Tropez vacation with Gabriel. Instead, Emily invites her friends Mindy and Camille. While in Saint-Tropez, Emily runs into her boss Sylvie and discovers that she is married to a man named Laurent, although they are currently living separate lives. Also in Saint-Tropez, Emily meets famous designer Grégory Dupri, who claims to be a longtime friend of Pierre Cadault and offers to help promote Cadault's new luggage. Unfortunately for Emily, Grégory is actually a former protege and current rival to Cadault, and his offer of promotion was actually only meant to humiliate his former mentor. In response to this massive business error, Emily is removed from the Cadault account and replaced by Julien. Back in Paris, Emily throws herself a birthday party where she attempts to reunite Gabriel and Camille to alleviate the guilt she feels over her and Gabriel's tryst. Unfortunately, Camille learns from Mathieu that he broke up with Emily due to her having an affair. And when Camille finds Gabriel's favorite pan in Emily's apartment, she finally realizes that Emily and Gabriel had slept together. And so Camille publicly confronts Emily at her birthday, accusing her in front of all her friends and co-workers of sleeping with Gabriel. This personal conflict also interferes with Emily's work, as Camille's family champagne business was a client of Savoir. In an attempt to make amends with Camille, Emily agrees to a pact that neither woman would pursue a relationship with Gabriel. But that is easier said than done, as Antoine tasks Emily with leading the marketing for the grand opening of his and Gabriel's restaurant, which forces Emily and Gabriel to spend more time together. Meanwhile, Emily meets a man from London named Alfie in her French language class. At first, the two butt heads over Alfie's sour attitude and dismissiveness of Paris's fun and romance, but eventually they begin to develop feelings for each other. But it's not just Emily who begins a new romance. Mindy joins a band and begins dating the guitarist Benoit, while Sylvie begins dating a young photographer named Eric. Meanwhile, Sylvie begins butting heads with Savoir's American boss Madeline, who arrives in Paris to make some changes to their business. Notably, Savoir has been seriously undercharging Antoine for their services. When Madeline discovers that Sylvie had previously been involved in a years-long affair with Antoine, she contemplates firing Sylvie. When Madeline discovers that Grégory has fired his PR firm and was in need of a new team, she makes moves for Savoir to take him on as a client, despite Sylvie warning her that Grégory was a business rival of their current client, Cadault. Madeline arranges for Cadault to attend Grégory's fashion shows in an attempt to get the two men to make amends. Unfortunately, Cadault is so impressed by the event that he becomes angry that Savoir has never helped him accomplish something of a similar magnitude, prompting him to fire Savoir. Madeline is furious by this turn of events and demands answers from Sylvie. Instead, Sylvie resigns alongside Luc and Julien to start her own new PR firm. As the season comes to a close, Emily is left with two major life choices. Professionally, she must decide between staying loyal to Madeline or accepting an offer to join Sylvie at her new firm. Romantically, Alfie is forced to return to London for work, but declares his desire to continue pursuing a relationship with Emily. And though she has feelings for Alfie, she also still had unresolved feelings for Gabriel. As Emily goes to Gabriel's apartment to express those feelings, she discovers that Gabriel and Camille have gotten back together.